I was diagnosed with cancer in 2016 and my boy was in standard 6. And all through, before we took him to school, he would look straight in my face and ask, "Mommy, will you come back? Will you come for my visiting?" In 2018, my body got swollen and I had some bad infection and a wound in my mouth, and it made it difficult for me to eat. And so we had to now go back again to India for review. And when we went back to India for review, the doctors tested me and my liver had a problem, one of the kidneys had a problem, my lungs were full of water, and one morning the oncologists in India came and told me that there's nothing that they can do or they could have done. They have done, and I need to prepare and go back to Kenya because they have nothing to do. Because according to the test, I was far off. And it's like, in short, they were preparing me for my exit. And because my husband was not in the hospital, he had gone to the guest house, I came and reported to him and told him the report of the doctors that I was far off and there's nothing that they can do. And then I remember he literally told me that God has the final say. And literally there in the hospital, in the isolation room, he sang that song that says, "Who has the final say? Who has the final say? Jehovah has the final say." And so he held firm and said, "Yes, that is a report that we have had, but we do trust that God has the final say." But in the afternoon, the doctor, another doctor came and said that he's going to try either 50-50, because for me to I may either live or die, but he's going to try the final test. And then I was taken back to the theater 2 times, and they extracted about 8 liters from my lungs because my lungs were full of water and fluid. And then after that, I recovered slowly and came out of hospital. But then I had lots of fears, because now you have been told that you will not make it. I know that I've left my children and my family back at home, and I've great pain in my heart, and I was very down. And I remember I told my husband, "Please, I humbly request you that you book the next flight, because I do not want to come back to Kenya as a cargo. I just want to go through, I want just to go into the flight that I will go in and either see my people and then I die, because it's like I'd lost hope." But he assured me and told me, "Yes, utafika Kenya, you will be able to reach Kenya and you do well." But I told him, now, sasa mahali nimefika sasa, I think I'm down and I'm discouraged. But he was very strong. And my husband has been very strong on that and supporting me, because he's a man of great faith. And always, even if I give up, because many times I told him I will not make it, but he would just stand up and say, "You make it in Jesus' name." And I think his backup in this sickness has been so excellent, because the backup of my husband and my family and my children and the people around has kept me going and has made me even to fight hard even to live. And so then after the 2 weeks of the review in India, we came back to Kenya. And when we came back to Kenya, I was still down. And in a week's time, I collapsed again. And I was very weak. But this time, another problem developed. I had lack of oxygen. And so I remember when we came back to Nairobi, I developed some problems with breathing, and I could hardly breathe. And so immediately I called up my sister, who was in Kilimani, and told her, please sister, send and organize for an ambulance because I'm not able to breathe. I was with my little children and the little ones, and my husband had gone out to do something. And so my sister immediately organized an ambulance, and we were taken back. I was taken to Texas Cancer Center I think in December 2018, I think 22nd. And I remember on that Christmas, they came and they came into the hospital in the ward to check on me because I was in hospital. But the situation was really tough for me, and I knew I was not doing well, and I knew that I was weak. And at one point, I called the people and told them, please, I don't think I'm doing well. I don't think I'll make it. Please release me, because I don't think I can make it in life, because the situation was not as good. But after some time, I was discharged and came back here in the house, still on oxygen, but we organized for a nurse in home care who would check on me. And the exercise was very expensive, a nurse. And I was on oxygen for about three months. And I was paralyzed, a part of the lower body. I had a wound that was tough and also painful. And I thank God that after some time I gained strength. And in April, I went back to Machakos in my area of work in Ukamba Bible College. And after some time I recovered and went back to my normal duties and started teaching and lecturing, because there are special courses. There are courses that I teach in Ukamba Bible College, and joined the students and also the other staff and colleagues in Machakos for the program that I do in Ukamba Bible College. And I do want to thank God that He has walked with me. It has not been an easy journey, because from 2016, I've been under medication because of the bone marrow transplant. And every morning I take about 10 different kinds of medication. And there's a medication costs a lot, because after every 2 months we have to order the medication from India so that I may take, and it costs a lot of money. And it has been really strained for us as a family to raise the funds for the treatment, funds for the medicine. We have, because of the treatment, we have even sold many of our investments, and it has been, life has never been the same since cancer struck and knocked in the doors of our family. And we thank God that He has really been faithful to us, and we have walked that journey with Him. And I know that sometimes it's challenging, but it's important that we get at, because the fighting spirit, because I always claim Philippians, the verse that says that I can do all things through Christ that enables me. And that positive attitude has kept us going as a family, irrespective of the pains and the struggles that we have gone as a family, as we raise funds every now and then, and to take that medication and to know that for sure you love to live all your life taking some of this medication sometimes is draining and sometimes scaring. In 2020, in November, we went and met with my doctor, the hematologist, Dr. Dave in Westlands, and I was referred to Lyons, and I had a problem with my eyes because I was slowly losing my sight. And then I was referred to Lyons Club, and they realized that my retina is being destroyed and I had cataract in my eyes. And the doctors confirmed that and said that I think 70% of my retina is being destroyed and I have only 30% remaining for my eyesight. And that really disappointed me because I've been struggling with the graft versus host disease and my low immunity, and now the loss of sight it never anchored well in my life and the experience that I was in. And so in February this year, in 2021, our doctor here in Kenya, the hematologist, said required that we go for an emergency visit in India for the treatment. And so because here in Kenya, they're not able to deal with the issue because of the pre-existing condition. And so I need to visit back the Ventilator hospital to check on the eyes and also the review of the bone marrow transplant because they need to check on what is happening. And so since February, we have been preparing to go to India and for an emergency, and we need more than even 1 million to raise. And we've been struggling really to raise that money, but with lots of struggle. But we want to thank God for the friends that are standing with us. The loss of sight has struck me because I can't imagine that I'll lose sight. I will not be able to go back to the ministry. I'll not be able to go back to my normal duties. And this has really put me down. And it's my prayer that the Lord will help me at least realize the money that I need and go the soonest possible to India for the treatment of my eyes.